Good morning and welcome to the IFB 102 mini project video. This morning I will just be displaying the system that we have built. That is the moisture sensor that uploads to the Smart Living Maker cloud service. So in front of you here we have the Grove Pi extension board. This is just a piece of hardware that you can buy for the Raspberry Pi that slips on top of the GPIO pin connectors down here, and is a very useful piece of hardware for lots of peripheral sensors for lots of different inputs and outputs. As you can see, it's got a whole lot of different ports on the top there. Quite a few. You can see the Wi-Fi Raspberry Pi Wi-Fi dongle plugged in that's connected to the internet, which will be transmitting to our cloud. Now, the other interesting hardware component that we have in front of us is the moisture sensor. As you can see, it's got two prongs that transmit an electric current between them to determine the resistance and therefore the moisture. This is an analog sensor, so it does transmit an analog reading, which is problematic for this for the system as a whole, because as you will notice, we will require an analog to digital converter, which is in the Grove Pi on board the microcontroller. It contains a 6-channel analog to digital converter. As you can see, we have a serial cable that's plugged in to my laptop, and we are running the program ZTerm as a terminal to talk to the Raspberry Pi and the Grove Pi and the moisture sensor. So I'm just going to run the script that we need to start the sensor reading and also upload to the cloud service. Once this starts, we should receive a bunch of messages that tell us everything's going. There we are. It says subscribe to topic, receiving data from the cloud, and we've just got the first message that it has published the topic to the cloud. So now I'm going to open the web browser and I'm just going to get to the cloud where we are uploading the data. As you can see, I've got Smart Living Maker up with the real Pi, the device, and I'm just going to click on the Licht sensor. That's just a sort of default name that was put in, and I haven't changed. Okay, so on this screen we can see the device that's been set up. It's got the ID and the state. Now the state is currently at 0, which is the moisture reading. As we can see, the probe hasn't been put in the anything yet, so it will be reading a 0 value because there's no moisture to detect. Now, if we place the probe into a little bit of soil that I've got here, it's going to start to transmit a current that's going to output a reading. Now I'm going to add just a tiny bit of water there, maybe to give it a little hand along, and then we're going to come back over to our terminal to see what's going on. And there we can see the Licht sensor. If you look at that value, it's gone from 0 when it was out in the air to 516, 476, and 428, and now 339 as the water sort of disperses across there. So it's working from the Raspberry Pi's point of view. Now if we click over to the device sensor, we can see there that state has changed, and in fact is changing as the moisture level is coming back down and being dispersed across the soil more evenly. Now, just as a little experiment, what happens to the moisture values when we tip in a heap of water? There we go. Alright, now that's fully saturated, as you can see. Our moisture sensor is almost drowning. What's going to be the oh, and wow, see, the reading value is 711 now as opposed to 230. Okay, cool. So that pretty much concludes our little moisture sensor setup. It's essentially designed so that you could have it set up monitoring your plant, and you could log on to your Smart Living Maker cloud at any point in time and just have a little check on the moisture levels of the plant and make sure it's got enough to drink. So thank you.